Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Monday, the 10th of Feb. All right, now just looking at the start of the week. Now, it's always a good thing to have a look where the data was or where it came out. Now, non-farm payrolls, pretty good number, 225 versus 160 expected. Private payrolls up as well. Now, the unemployment rate was slightly worse, but, you know, to me, it's offset a little bit by the average earnings, which are up 0.1% year on year, down 0.1% month on month. So, but to me, overall, that's a pretty good number. And just actually having a look just below that, the Canadian employment numbers, more jobs, a better unemployment, improved rate. That's a good sign across the board there as well. So, but what we've got is strong, strong outcome for the US numbers, strong outcome for dollar CAD. So we haven't seen much movement on dollar CAD at that point. Now, just having a look at the major currency pairs, and I'm just using a different template whilst we're doing the workshop in New York. So just having a look here, we've got really nice sort of direction across the board here. Aussie, Kiwi, Euro, and you can see where sterling was trading sideways. It's sort of broken down now as well. Sterling's really coming back into play, so don't discount sterling and sterling crosses from this point. Now that the main part of the Brexit's done, of course, we've got to work out some deals, but it's looking pretty good. Dollar CAD still cruising to the top side. As I said, you know, those employment numbers didn't do a lot for dollar CAD. A little bit of volatility, that's about it. And this coronavirus, right? So still continuing the safe haven. Well, dollar yen is back to sort of 109.70, and it doesn't look like the market's too worried about things at this point. So is it a safe haven trade on or not? I don't really think it's a huge play just at the moment. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. Now, just having a look at the dollar index, right? So there's a couple of things just to have a look around. Usually you see after a big non-farm payrolls or a big data shift, I mean, and don't forget, there was a few things taking a little bit of shine off the non-farms. You sort of go around and have a look at the equity market, see how everything's opening up. The dollar index, as you can see, there wasn't a huge move after the non-farm payrolls. It's just slowly moving to the top side. Now, of course, everything's a bit overshadowed with the coronavirus at this stage. Trump's out of his impeachment proceedings, so we get back to normal there. And look at the dollar yuan, right? Let's just blow this up. Okay, so just looking at dollar yuan here, it's, you know, we had this sort of bit of a panic where it was sort of shooting to the top side. I mean, it's rallied 20 cents or 15, 18 cents or something. And now we're starting to see some sort of normality kick in. So to me, this is a sign of a bit of calm over the euphoria of the coronavirus and, you know, the impact on the Chinese economy. Of course, we've got to see how that plays out, but everything seems to have stabilized. There's no big, massive moves where things have run hugely away after the non-farms, which is good. So to me, you know, these pairs, dollar strength is the way to go, and you've got to be starting to think. Well, I'm thinking at the start of the week here, selling Aussie, Kiwi, Euro in particular. Having a look at sterling, well, really need to dig into that one a little bit more. I'll just blow that up a bit. You can start to see where it's coming back. But, you know, we're broken back down through that support line, coming back to test resistance. I'm not hugely confident, put it that way, at this stage, but we'll see how that plays out. And dollar CAD as well. I tell you what, dollar CAD's a tricky one because it's when you do come back into your technical analysis. Let me clear that screen. We don't really have any sort of support lines here that really sort of come into play. Like, if I'm drawing a trend line from the low there, it's just to the current market. So it's sort of drifting sideways in a massive, a decent sort of range. So it's not exactly playing a fair game at this point. Now, from here, just looking across the various news, obviously the coronavirus is going to get a bit of airtime. And that's going to impact a lot of central banks over the coming, you know, meetings, month or so. You have to see where that goes. And as you can see, it's pretty lackluster. US dollar strengthens as traders see resilient US economy. Well, we all sort of know that, but we have to sort of wait and see what develops from the data and the geopolitical events. Now, going forward today, just having a look at the key releases coming out. So we had some Chinese CPI, much better than expected. You know, market's not really running with that. You haven't seen any sort of impact here on the Aussie and Kiwi, so they're sort of doing their own thing. Just looking at across the board here, we don't have a hell of a lot to rip into, which, you know, is a normal sort of Monday. So I would be tuning up your charts. Sterling's going to be in play with some GDP estimate numbers early in the week in the manufacturing output. So keep an eye on that. And that's pretty much all we've got. So economic data-wise, there's not a lot. You come back to the general news or the equity markets, we're not getting too many lead-ins just at the moment. I mean, equities did come off Friday, obviously, with the strong non-farm payrolls numbers. You know, suggest there's, you know, down the track there's going to be some sort of implication for higher rates, and that always pushes the equities down. But I would expect that to come back. We'll see. It's a bit of a mixed signal there with the US data and the impact on growth from the coronavirus. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. The good thing to do is, or the smart thing to do is, let the markets open up. Let's see where the currencies are. Let's see how the data's sitting from last week, and then we can start to piece it together. The good thing is, as I mentioned, we've got pretty good trend lines here, okay? And the US dollar is acting uniformly against all pairs, which is, this is a really good sign, and one we haven't seen for a while. You got the Aussie, Kiwi, Euro, Sterling moving down. And if anything, you got the dollar pairs moving up. So we've got good market conditions. It's just a matter of waiting for the opportunity to pop up now. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheerio.